So that brings us to our third topic, which is what is on the line for each of these teams. For the Chiefs, it's pretty simple. It's history. Can they etch their name in the history of the league in the same way that the Patriots once did, that the Niners did, that the Steelers did? At least when I was growing up, the bar for championships was getting 4 Super Bowl championships. Joe Montana got there, Terry Bradshaw got there, Chuck Noll was part of that with Terry Bradshaw, Bill Walsh had 3 of the 5 championships in San Francisco. So the bar that really separated the great dynasties, at least when I was a kid, was winning 4 Super Bowls. There were only 2 at the time that had done it. The Niners wind up winning a 5th with Steve Young. But Terry Bradshaw and Joe Montana separated themselves as winners with 4 Super Bowls. So Patrick Mahomes can put himself up in that category as one of the great winners in the history of the game. And I think he's already getting there, but as one of the great winners in the history of the game, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs can put themselves in that category. There's also some history that they can make here that's never been accomplished before. 3 Super Bowl championships in a row. They've already won. They've already been to 5 and 6 years. That's never been done before. When you're at this level, you're looking to find ways to separate yourself and create some history of your own. And the Chiefs are already well on their way to doing that. So as for what's on the line for the Chiefs, it's not like we're going to sit there and say they're a failure if they don't wind up winning the Super Bowl with the group that they have out there on Sunday, because they won the Super Bowl largely with this group the last 2 years. But there is a chance to create some unique history for themselves and win another championship again with the 3 players that have been at the core of all of this: Patrick Mahomes, Chris Jones, Travis Kelce. Get Andy Reid a 4th championship. Put Andy Reid on, again, another level of coach and getting him his 4th championship. He'd be only the 3rd coach ever to do that. He'd be only 2 wins behind Bill Belichick on the all-time playoff wins record. Just a lot of history on the line for the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday. Again, this isn't a zero-sum game where you wind up with nothing if you walk away without the championship, but a great opportunity in front of the Chiefs. As for the Eagles, I think it's a little bit different. The way they're perceived, where they are, the way Nick Sirianni is viewed, the way that whole group is seen, a lot of it could swing on Sunday. And whether that's fair or not, winning a Super Bowl versus having 2 Super Bowl losses in 3 years and potentially missing a window that you've got with a very, very talented, well-balanced group, that'd be a really tough blow. Howie Roseman has a chance again to put himself in another category of executive here, winning with 2 different coaches, winning with 2 different quarterbacks, and having done it all those years ago with Doug Peterson and Nick Foles. He's got the chance now to do it with Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni. So Nick Sirianni is perceived differently. Howie Roseman is perceived differently. Jalen Hurts is perceived differently if they win this game on Sunday. If they lose it, I think we're talking about everybody being under a lot of pressure in 2025. That doesn't mean people are going to lose their jobs, but there's going to be a lot of pressure on this team to win one over the next couple of years, because the window that they have isn't extended by having a quarterback at the level of Patrick Mahomes the way the Chiefs' window is. This group of players they're not going to be able to keep this group of players together forever. And so it's going to be really interesting to see if they're able to come into this game and play free. It's one thing I've noticed being around the Chiefs all week is how loose they look, how comfortable they look. This looks like a team that's so ready to go and so ready for the moment because they've been in the moment before. And I think you've got an Eagles team where I think we're going to be able to see early in the game where they're at and whether or not they look tight. Again, the Chiefs team that may be able to go into this game feeling like they're playing with house money, feeling like they're only playing with something to gain rather than a whole lot to lose. The circumstances are a little bit better, a little bit different for the Eagles. As for my game pick, I'm going to reinforce my do not pick against the Chiefs rule here. I self-imposed that rule after last year's Super Bowl. I picked the Niners to beat the Chiefs. That was really stupid. I will not make the mistake of picking against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid until further notice. I love where the Eagles are. I love the way the Eagles are playing. I love the job that Nick Sirianni has done. I think he's been so unfairly criticized over the course of the last year. I think Saquon Barkley's having a historic season. Jalen Hurts has answered some questions over the course of the last couple of months. Their defense has been fantastic. Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore have done a great job. Fangio cementing himself as one of the best defensive coordinators of his generation. Kellen Moore on his way to becoming the next head coach of the New Orleans Saints. Love so much about the Eagles. But again, they don't have Patrick Mahomes and they don't have Andy Reid. And I've just learned my lesson about picking against those guys in a spot like this one. So on Sunday, again, what this comes down to for me, I think this is a relatively even matchup. I think that the Eagles have the more talented roster, but it's so hard to go against the Chiefs. I think it's close enough here where it's going to come down to the last 5 minutes of the game. And in the last 5 minutes of the game, I think you'd be foolish to bet against Patrick Mahomes. I think you'd be foolish to pick against Andy Reid. Chiefs 27, Eagles 23. The Chiefs win their 4th Super Bowl in the last 6 years, their 3rd championship in a row, the first team ever to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. And can they win 4 in a row next year in San Francisco? We got plenty of time to talk about all that.